Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Seekers of the Sea, where poor Naru here is currently surrounded by some extremely creepy additions to our tribe, such as young vampire who is now no longer as young as she used to be, but still quite the tricky follower of Tata and quite enchanted with the dark black eyes that she has found on this bright, toxic danger emerald green Naru. Poor Naru. And then while Naru is just trying to do his best to gather up food and be responsible like old man Trumpet would have wanted the tribe to think about, he's also been surrounded by this peaceful bear, and they both just have really creepy stares and they won't stop staring at Naru, and I'm really feeling for ya, buddy, so you just hang in there. But yes, so welcome back everyone. We are continuing right where we left off, so if you are not too sure about all of the plots going on, like the birth of a little bronze no-shell, which I still think is a hilariously fun name that randomly generated for this little guy, then do please be sure to check the previous episode, and if you would like to keep up to date on all of the challenge guidelines for the Seekers of the Sea, then do check the link in the video description to our niche wiki and to the page where I have organized all of my thoughts on how the challenge will work for all of you. And with that said, let's move on. So, last time we left off, we do still have a pregnancy with Shapri getting ready to have the second child of the beloved, extremely handsome, and quite wonderful swimmer, Bawave. So Bawave is trying to swim around. He's very proud and excited about the birth of his son. And perhaps it may be quite some time before they return to their old tribe. Bawave still has not given up on that just yet. I mean, he's not the youngest Nicheling in the world anymore, but he is not exactly old either. And I think he really hopes that one day there will be other Nichelings like him, like there were in the old tribe, to swim in the waters with him. So he's busy swimming down here and just trying to enjoy, well, enjoy is a strong word. He has a little bit too much of a sense of duty to just casually enjoy things, so he's trying to swim around and see if he can find any more evidence of where they are or where all of these really creepy and weird orphans, like Vampire and Skipjack, who was raised by stagmoles, where they are coming from, because those two were too young to possibly remember what happened before they arrived. So Bawave, by his swimming around, unintentionally is gathering up that strength and power for the patron gods of this tribe, the Doli, who are seeking to return through this tribal line. Hopefully we'll be able to make that happen, but getting the mutations for it is going to be pretty challenging, I'm realizing, since we don't have very many shells. So, Kai, it is a sign of good luck that you have been able to see a lovely little rabbit on the beach. These bunnels do have white fur, and that is considered a sign of good luck in the tribe. A very, very long ago holdover from the few scattered memories and cultural practices that do remember the Doli line. So hopefully the sight of this little bunnel means that there are some shells lying along the beach somewhere just waiting for you. And Nari over here, who is also curious about these shells because he too has been thinking about the pull that the Nicheling gods seem to have given him as well, since he has 2 out of the 6 traits that we are looking for when it comes to our seer line. So he can actually open up shells as well. But Nari here is getting a little older, and he's beginning to realize that Kai is actually, you know, she's kind of cool, and she's got those pretty spots, and you know, when she opens up that shell and plucks out the prophecy pearl, is what I've decided to call them, and glows blue, well, you know, Nari remembers back in the old tribe there was a blue toxic Nicheling, but it sure didn't glow the beautiful way that Kai glows when she reads the prophecies of the future, or is able to get the vision for a Nicheling's future. So I think that Nari is actually beginning to fall a little in love, even though the Nicheling gods have warned him. And I did manage to actually change. Nari, let's use one of your, oh dear. Okay, well, let's use 2 of your, oh, here, you're just gonna clear all the grass today. That's your job today, buddy. But I did end up changing the code colors Thank you, Sandbox Mode update that allows us to change the colors of the icons on their chest. But he now has a red icon to represent the warning that the Nicheling gods gave him in a vision, that he needs to be very mindful for the future of his lineage. He himself has great fertility, but he got bad infertility, and we're going to say that is because it was a warning, not a curse, but a warning from the gods to be cautious because his offspring may struggle. So he now has a red gemstone, or a red prophecy pearl, I should say, woven with the grasses, woven perhaps with some of these big, I think he would really like the palm fronds, actually. I could see him very much enjoying that. But woven together and hanging over his shoulders like a necklace, just the way that Kai also has hers. So yeah, Nari has a red one. Kai now has a blue one. The middle ones will represent more what kind of job the Nichelings have. Like Bawave, he's gonna have a blue one because he is into the water. Skipjack is more of a gatherer, and so is Shopri. And then Vampire has a black one because she's kind of this fangirl of the trickster god Tata, and Naru has a green one because he too is a gatherer. I very much like that. I love how all of the different tribes have different meanings behind their gemstones. It's very fun. But alright, so let's go ahead and get moving. Nari over here is starting to kind of trip over himself a little with nerves because he's beginning to, you know, get a little distracted thinking about how beautiful Kai's spots are. Bawave is still proud of the new arrival to his family line, and she'll swim about a little. Aha, there's some fish. In search of fish. Kai, haha, she can try to do a little fishing of her own, but unfortunately she wasn't very lucky. Did we at least get a little closer to unlocking anything? We're kind of getting there on Nimble Fingers. Digging Paw. We have a long way to go, my friends. We have quite a long way to go. Hopefully we can unlock more of the genes before we find some prophecy pearls. We may actually have to try to do a lot of breeding in this particular tribe without the mutations, which may be a really interesting challenge. It may not be like there's just prophecies lined along the seashore. We might not be that lucky, so we'll have to see how else we can make things happen. All right, and meanwhile down here, Vampire. How close are you? She needs 30 more insect licks. So Vampire is just going to continue to stare poor Naru straight in the eyes and try to lick these termites off the mound. I really think she's quite creepy. Yeah, but she's getting there. She's getting there. And meanwhile, I think this is enough for Naru. I think that, you know, he's trying his best. This is a bit much. He's going to go ahead and just start exploring and kind of slowly backing away from these two, trying to ignore how creepy it seems. And then Shopri is going to kind of tidy up the area. She still has 5 days of this pregnancy left, so little brown snowshell, come and watch your father dive out of the water like a red dolphin along the side of the shore while I collect some food. Basically, that's what Shopri would be like. Skipjack is going to try to gather up some food. I think he's irritated about all of these nests under his tree, and we may actually have Skipjack try to see if there's moles on this island. He might want to see if there's some of his other people. Oh, he's short-sighted. I never noticed that before. Skipjack, do you have any good genes to really mix with anybody? Probably. I mean, we do need antlers at some point, but Skipjack, you've got a lot of time. We'll think about it. Right now, I think he still mostly speaks mole, so I'm not sure who would really want to be his mate just yet. But alright, let's carry on. Hopefully we can unlock some of these genes. Oh, and then also, just like usual, whoever unlocks the genes in our tribe gets that gene if they so wish as a freebie, which is very useful. And actually, I think Naru, yeah, I think he'd be in the mood to search out more of the roots, so I'm gonna have him do that. There, yeah, there's some roots down here, and kind of shake his head and decide to walk the island and find where his twin brother went. And meanwhile, Vampire is a little irritated because she wanted to keep eating those bugs, and now the bugs smell funky and they would hurt her. I don't know. I think she'd have a good sense of that. Skipjack doesn't have the ability to eat bugs, but I think... I mean, if vampire attacks it and then gets covered in angry, mean termites, we'd still need a partner to get rid of it. So I think she's going to abandon this current mound in disgust. Keep an eye on Naru, who is very much not going to be happy to be walking through the grass. Turn around and find the vampire stare, just not leaving him. But I think she's going to come this way, but ironically it's mostly because she's looking for more of those termites to eat. And meanwhile, Skipjack... I think he'd start to go to destroy this nest. Like, haha, it's looking old. I can get rid of it and have space for my nuts again. And no, Shopri would let out quite the screech to tell him not to do that. And I think that he'd kind of huff away. He'd just be like, that's enough of that. So don't drown, child, please. So I think he's going to jump across and after chattering with all of his adopted mole parents, be off to see what's happening under some of the other nut trees, just for a minute. He isn't going to abandon this tribe, but I do think he wants a little space from Shopri. Alright, meanwhile, Shopri, she'll go ahead. Ooh, there's some fish! Bowave, come and show your son how it is done. Haha! Excellent! Oh, I think that that would really have tickled him and just made him feel like, wow, look at what my dad can do. Alright, meanwhile, down here, we have had no luck on this side of the island, and we've kind of circled it. And I kind of feel like Kai and Nari are beginning to eye up some of the islands. Haha, no pun intended. As well. I wonder, you know what? I think that Kai is going to kind of be staring at this island with a intent look on her face. And Nari is going to jump down to see exactly what she's all about. Maybe try to grab this little worm on his way there. And I'm gonna have Kai clear away these grasses and step into the waters right onto a Razorina. Hang in there, Kai, don't get nommed. Oh geez, okay, I think this is a little alarming. Nari, can you get it? Get away, get away, get away, Razorina. We don't need your nonsense here. And I think that that would actually startle Kai. And I think she'd let out a scream, like a bit of a screech. I mean, if you had a gigantic red piranha suddenly show up in your lap as soon as you stepped into the waters, tentatively for the first time since you almost drowned getting to an island, I think you'd let out a bit of a screech too. And she's going to kind of flail through the water and end up on the other side. So she has kind of accidentally ended up on this side, and I think she'd climb up off the shore, and Nari would be quite distressed. I mean, Kai just was, she almost got nibbled by a rogue Razorina, and now she's on an entirely new island. Like, what? So we may have him jump across and take care of her in just a second. And meanwhile, I think that Naru is going to continue to discover where the food reserves are on this island, and also try very hard to ignore the fact that Vampire is still following him. And meanwhile, Vampire, she's gonna help find the food spots, but she's really looking for more termites to be able to lick off her fingers, which may be a little bit incoming. Meanwhile, let's have Skipjack. I think he might need... How much can he swim? Okay, yeah, he cannot swim as much as he wanted to, so I think he'd flounder and kind of panic for just a moment, which I imagine Balwave would look up and realize that he was in need in just a second. We're gonna have Shopri jump over. Bronze No Shell is going to proudly watch his father. She's going to gather up some of the berries. Excellent, excellent. Any shenanigans? No shenanigans. Alright, and now we'll go ahead and have Balwave dive through the waves. Did he just get bleached? Balwave got bleached, my friends. But he's going to dive through the waves, come up sputtering because of that cursed leech. Don't worry, Shopri's on it. She also has 2 more days left on this pregnancy. Little Bronze No Shell is watching his father. And Balwave is going to carry on and show Skipjack a safer way to pass through the island. So I think, yeah, he's going to guide Skipjack over here. And Skipjack's just gonna have to be patient and make the jump. Because I think this would very much excite Bawave, because he wants to teach the other Nichelings how to swim after all. Meanwhile, over here, we have got Naru, still trying his best to just humbly find a whole bunch of spots where everyone can eat. And Vampire, who is still trying her best just to creepily follow him without any reasoning, like not really saying anything, just following him around. And then over here, Nari is going to immediately jump through the water and sputter and run up to Kai and make sure that she is all right. So he's going to clear that away. Kai is going to kind of gather her strength for just a second and eat a couple of these berries, say that she is okay, and just catch her breath for a minute, because I feel like there may be a bit of a romance going on here. All right, and let's see. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. So we're beginning to explore new islands. We're really spread out as a tribe this time, which is quite interesting to me. Normally we keep together quite a bit more than this. But all right, so Skipjack, go ahead and jump across, my boy. Did you just get bleached? Oh no, a leech tried to get on Nari, as if. He's got a toxic body. There we go. And too bad, he would have loved to eat the leech if he had seen it in time. Alright, so Skipjack has made it across the island. And Ballwave is going to continue. Oh, Ballwave! Ballwave! He got webbed hind legs and he got webbed paw, my friends. Let's get those webbed hind legs in there, maybe? I gotta think about this, because we definitely could use water body. But even more than that, we could probably use gills for sure. Because you don't need a certain head shape for being a seer. That's not one of the genes you have to have locked in place. So I could really use a set of gills to carry on. But I guess, I mean, I guess he would already pass that on. So maybe water body would be good. Yeah, you don't have to have a certain type of body either. But webbed hind legs we actually do need. So I'm going to grant him that. So little does he know it, but his adventurous nature has actually granted him a special blessing from the Nicheling gods. So even though he has not managed to get a prophecy pearl, Ballwave has got a blessing of the ocean. So he has gotten a blessing regarding swimming. Unfortunately, there are not as many fish as I wish there were to eat, but we'll just have to do with what we've got. And meanwhile, Shopry is going to go ahead and set up shop. Do you like what I did there? Back at the nest, she is ready to have Ballwave's next child. On this side, we have Vampire being creepy, and we have Naru, who is, I think he's a little concerned about the abundance of bunnies, the bunnels that seem to be eating everything, and Vampire is just keeping her eyes creepily locked on him. Hopefully that'll work out okay. And then on this side, little Nari is going to stare up at the beautiful Kai, and he is going to ask her if she is all right. Romance! It worked! The flirtation worked! Wonderful! So Kai actually has decided to respond to Nari. I do think they are definitely falling in love, and they do have a connection as they are both seers. So let's let Nari patrol the area quite eagerly. Meanwhile, we'll go ahead and allow Kai to kind of explore this new island slightly. But there we go, my friends. So we are on to new islands. Kai is now expecting her first child with Nari. Hopefully between the two, we can have some children that have enough of the traits of the seers of the sea that they can continue to open prophecy pearls. Not that there's many prophecy pearls to be found right now. Skipjack might find love and romance on this new island. Ballwave continues to gain strength for the tribe, and his beautiful bride Shopry is ready to go ahead and have another baby of her own. So thank you guys so much for joining me. If you could, do please leave a like to toss a fish to Ballwave. I suppose he has definitely earned it today. If you would like to join us on this and literally thousands more adventures, do please consider subscribing. But most importantly, my friends, stay curious. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!